What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Main. I'm finna hit y'all with another one. This right here, this is gonna be how the Glock trigger work, demonstrating on my Polymer 80 PF940CL. It's the same with the Polymer 80 PF940SC. Mostly all Glocks. This trigger, I'm about to tell you all about it. Alright, so take a good look at this. It's about to get a little intense, so you gotta kind of get a, cause I'm gonna be naming positions and spots where stuff is at, and I just want you to look at that general area, see what I'm talking about. Get a good look at it. That is the part of the frame. This is the part of the gun that is serialized, but since it's a Polymer 80, I built it myself. It does not have to be serialized. I just want to say that. And this is the top slide. You can see through it. You can see me. It's crazy. But this is a very important thing that make this trigger so much more safer than all other triggers. This. I don't know if every other gun got something similar, but I know Glock got this, and this works. That's all I can say. So let's get into explaining how it works. I'm gonna put the gun back together to help with my demonstration, but I'm gonna explain it first. So this thing that sticks out is connected to the trigger. If I pull the trigger, you see it moving. When I pull the trigger forward, I don't want to. It's on the back is under spring tension, so I don't want to mess anything up. But I just want you to see that movement, not too much. This presses up. This is the thing that make the gun so safe. It gotta press up against that ball right there. Hence the reason why they line up like this. So when you pull the trigger, that moves and pushes this member, this small member out the way. Once it moves, then the firing pin is allowed to drop. That means that the way it's designed is that it's physically impossible for you to drop fire this gun or any other kind of outrageous thing that ever happened with a different gun. It's not possible with this gun. Not only that, but the trigger has this little blade inside, and which means that since it's physically impossible for the gun to be fired without the trigger moving, because the trigger is connected here, now there's this member, and the trigger can't be moved unless this member is depressed. And I mean, you can only make it that far into a pull unless it was very intentional. I don't know how to explain it any further. You have to have done that on purpose. And especially if you practice proper firearm safety, keeping your gun inside of a holster or trigger guard covered. Your trigger guard is not to be exposed because 3 pounds equals a lethal blow. And you could shy away from every part of that if you just cover the trigger guard and all the trigger components. So to put the gun back together, show you some more. One thing I found funny about the fitment, I don't know if it's just the Polymer 80, because I don't know if this is a thing with the standard Glocks, but with the Polymer 80s, even my 26 did this same thing. When I put it back together, it scraped up the back of the slide. Every time it does, every time. It worked just fine after that, but it's annoying. Everything functions fine past that point. But the Glock trigger is pretty cool too. Another good thing about this trigger is this at the rear and at this rear. This part at the top slides over this cross and it gets hooked at the rear. This cross is connected to the trigger, just like the first safety that I mentioned, that is here and here. So when you pull the trigger, this drops down, and that's when the firing pin goes forward. And simultaneously, this member is moved out the way. It all happens within the trigger pull. So your first safety is here, this trigger bar. And then there's this. And this is the striker safety, I guess it's called. But it moves this member out the way so it can drop down. And then there's this at the back. Just since we're talking about the trigger, this hooks to the rear of this, and when you pull the trigger, it goes down. It's under spring tension, that's why it's stuck forward. I couldn't even move it with my finger if I tried. It kind of hurt from how much tension it's under, I guess. But this spring is enough to fight that. Just like that. This spring is enough to fight that other spring. And now when I pull the trigger, that cross is gonna drop. That it kind of threw me off. Oh yeah, that small member, that striker safety, is gonna get pushed upward, and the trigger bar is gonna get depressed with the pull of your finger on the trigger. This gun was safety checked 1 billion times, so I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't. I'm literally looking at the magazine in a round that was in the chamber. But yeah, this is it put a smile on my face from how loud it is. The 26 wasn't this loud. I never had a gun that was this loud. That's why it's blowing me away. Like, this job sound rattly loud, but it's all put together. Like, I done shot it. I trust in it, but it's just crazy.
Hey, fuck you, mate! Who put this thing together? Me! That's who!
Yeah, now you rockin' with Ryder.
This, like, wow. I can't say I'm not blown away by the performance of this thing. Just a few words about it. Now that how to work the trigger is out the way. Now a few words about the gun. This is gonna be the standard of carry pretty soon. Because at the end of the day, it's simple, it's reliable, it works, and if you really took a good look at this gun, it looked really, really good. Like, man, it looked like it's what the military should carry. The Polymer 80, not OEM Glock, but the Polymer 80. When I look at this one, it make you want to hold it. Like, it got hand appeal from what it is. 17, 19, it just got hand appeal. It got eye appeal, hand appeal. Preferred choice to carry, Glock. Perfection. So I'm back with a jacket and an extended mag. It's empty. Firearms cleared. There's nothing in there. But it's a cool weapon. Whoa. I just came up with the best thumbnail. You see that? It's your boy, man. How the Glock trigger work on the Polymer 80. Glock, the best trigger. Probably not for shooting, but overall, best trigger ever made. Take it easy.